view of the thing which you are talking conscious. Well, be careful. There is NCC versus consciousness. NCC means you coordinates the consciousness. What happens in the brain by specific acts we do. But what is the conscious experience itself? They are two different things. So let me give you an example. There is a famous example given by two neuroscientists. They from America. They were very nice. For example, to put this precisely this question, they put an example that suppose you have a musician and you have a neuroscientist. Musician is playing the piano, very beautiful piano, immersed in motion. And neuroscientist is deaf. He cannot hear. But he is analyzing the brain of the musician. That musician is playing. Though he is able to see all the things that are happening in the brain, the synaptic, the neurotransmitters, all those things. And he can, using that, he can make out the pattern of the music. Still he lacks the experience. But the musician, who even doesn't know the neuroscience, he has the experience. So where that gap comes from? That is a question of today. So I skipped this all psychiatric part, which is I think our professor from the department of psychiatry will cover all those psychiatric issues, which are very prominent today also. So one of the issues which I will cover is sensory input. This is the issue which is called technically called binding problem. Binding problem means suppose I have this remote in my hand. So I am getting inputs about this remote from various my senses. For example, I am seeing it, so from the eyes, from the rays of the light, from the eyes, the sense input is going to the retina, to the brain, the specific part. I am touching it by hand, so there is a sensation going by neurons to the different part of the brain. If it is a smell, the smell is going through the nose to a different part of the brain. So we can see in the scan how different parts are light up, but how they combine together and where to give us a unitary experience is called a binding problem. And this problem is arising because we are not considering the mind and consciousness which we talk about in issues. This is a very famous problem we can do it. So the last part of the issue about that is brain neural machine is sufficient to account for all our mental states. So if you go mathematically from physics to mathematics, actually you can deduce that our mental world is much bigger than the physical world of this world, physical world attached and smell and see you can do. You can bring out theoretical idea. For example, I give you an example that you have two possibilities about a scientist, right? 90 years of scientist. But in physical world only one possibility is. So you can have many more possibilities in the mental world than the brain can have. So mental world is much bigger than the physical world. This is Eccles, who actually was a brilliant scientist who worked in Harvard. He was close to our institution. Many times he came to India. That he worked in neuroscience and he came to conclusion that the more we discover of the brain, the more clearly we distinguish between the brain events and the mental phenomena. So hints from our Indian knowledge system is very simple. In 2-3 slides, give you an idea that our Indian knowledge system or Vedanta says we have 3 parts, not the duality like wave particle relative physics. Our Indian knowledge system says we have 3 parts. One is the physical structure, the body, the brain, the psychological part, the mind, and the spiritual part, the self or the soul. The physical, the psychological, the spiritual. And each one has its own characteristics. Like in physics, we define characteristics or the properties of particles, mass, location, velocity. In both we have properties like the frequency. Similarly, the spirit, the self, has own properties of consciousness, free will, or seeking for happiness. And we have practical experience of all this. We have our physical world, we have our mental world, the world of thoughts, and we have our core self, the intentions, the desires, which we ourselves know. Others outside may not know. So we practically live in these 3 worlds every day if you introspect. My personal feeling is that this topic of brain, mind and consciousness requires inputs from all directions. including your own introspection. So Vedanta says that this consciousness evolution starts from, these are the first words of Vedanta, connecting with the divine, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, which is important in this human form of life, to inquire who we are and why we are here. So concluding point is that I have a personal feeling that mind does not seem to be reducible to brain, but it's an open question. You can explore yourself. And the development points more towards rather opposite. Brain might have come from mind. So life seems to be too big to be solved by one discipline. My request is, what I realize personally and from our mission, that to handle life really, we need multidisciplinary approach from basic sciences, from arts, from music, from philosophy, from yoga, as well as some spiritual practices in your life, like meditation. One discipline will not be able to handle life alone. So that is why our Pativa Patel, the former President of India, who inaugurated one of our conferences in New Delhi, he said very nice sentence that we need science to transplant human heart, but we need spirituality to transform human heart, and both are needed today. My personal feeling is that this field of brain-mind consciousness is not only synthesis, actually it is during meditation practices, right? And from there they develop the tools, and practitioners use their tools also. So it is like helping each other. Very good development actually. If you sometimes go in Harvard, they have a Harvard MIT collaborative meditational program. There are many renowned scholars are working together just from this, right? Because if you go to higher state of meditation, the brain also has corresponding states. So what are you? You can find out the various function and structure of the brain using that meditation state. You develop the tools. Those tools help the moms too, that you can scan your brain. So it's a very beautiful symbiosis, helping each other in this field is special, brain-mind consciousness. And this, to end with this is the UN Army, Pentagon, doing yoga and meditation today. This becomes so important for everybody around the world. The National Institute of Health in America, the top body in America, they are collaborating with our Ayush department in India for understanding, teaching, learning, and to their own personnel. And this is what Harvard MIT College Meditation Program. So my request is that because like one of the professors mentioned in the morning, we have actually a little bit left aside excelling inside. As Dr. Piri used to say, excel inside, excel outside, both should go together now. So these are some of the books which you will find outside. I have tried to give you a glimpse, but if you want to go deeper, we have a very beautiful volume, Quantifying and Consciousness. Very brilliant minds have contributed articles. These are some other books founder Dr. T.V. Singh actually penned. This is Dialogue with Pandos. And some other books you can browse. This is a journal which we have every year where renowned scholars around the world write articles. Thank you so much for your attention.